What if the universe had 20 ways to bring your business $20,000 this month, this week, even today? Are you open and ready to receive it? Today is all about 20 ways the universe could give your business $20,000 right here, right now. Hey everyone, this is Acacia Thornton, the CEO, legal coach, longtime business advisor, attorney, speaker, and manifesting coach. And today we are doing the Aligned Business Series. This is where we go live 3 times a week talking about real world challenges and issues that business owners are facing, giving you real world solutions that you can take and act on today, right here, right now, but also answering your questions live. So make sure that you find your chat button because any questions you have about today's topic, I'm going to answer them right here live. Now, today, like I said, we are talking about 20 ways the universe can bring your business $20,000. Now, why is this a topic? Because when we're talking about an aligned business, we talk about manifesting as a business skill. It is a business skill, and it's a business skill because when we want a desire, we feel into that desire. We send our energetic signals that way. We try to align the universe to bring that in for us. But as business owners, what ends up happening? So many times we end up, well, okay, if we're going to create a new funnel about this product, here's how the funnel shall be structured. Here is the way that process is going to be. Here's how we're going to test these various data points. And here it becomes very logical. It becomes a manufactured process, an algorithm, something that, well, guess what? Doesn't have the feelings, the sensations, the inspiration that manifesting is. And so today we're talking about one of my favorite exercises to do with my clients, and it's called the 20 ways exercise. And we'll dive into it in a second, and I will literally list out for you 20 different ways the universe can bring your business $20,000. So think for a moment. When you're wanting, let's say, $20,000 in clients, are you thinking $20,000 or are you thinking clients? Because when you want $20,000 in clients, what you're saying is, universe, bring me $20,000 and do it this way. Here's how I want it done, universe. I want it to be done by you bringing me clients. I want this $20,000 or whatever dollar amount you pick. I want it to be brought to me this way on this method. And that is actually a manifesting block. Yeah. See, our brains are set up to think. They're set up to problem solve, and they're set up to make sure that we are safe. That's why our brain is so logical, takes in so much information and processes it quickly for us using those subconscious ideas and lessons from our life to be, okay, I want a new product. This is how I'm going to lay it out. But there's a couple challenges with that. Challenge number 1, our brains only know what it has been exposed to. Maybe it's a lesson you learned, maybe it's something you read, maybe it's something you saw on a podcast or YouTube channel, but it's using former information. It's using past information to do what? Attract your future. Past, future. And then it's also trying to keep you safe, which means it wants to do things it already knows are possible, steps it's already taken before, or things it's seen other people do. It's reliant on old ways of thinking to bring you here. Now, of course, the brain is an amazing and wonderful thing, and I'm very glad it doesn't have us walking off the ledge or touching the hot stove or doing too crazy of things. So as business owners, when we're trying to attract that $20,000 or whatever the number is for you, we want to make sure that we're opening ourselves up to more than one way of how. When we're manifesting, all that we want to be focusing on is the end result, that end goal, that end feeling. Let go of the how. And that's why this 20 ways exercise is so potent and powerful, and why I use it with my clients. So here's the way the exercise works. And then I will give you the list of 20 and we'll answer all of your questions, okay? Because I see some of you chatting in right now. Yes. Yay. Hey, Mary. Hey, Mike. So the 20 ways exercise. Whenever you're trying to manifest an outcome, what I want you to do is feel into that. What does it feel like to have that $20,000? What does it feel like to have those clients? What does it feel like for whatever outcome you're after? And then once you're into that and you know it, I want you to start to write down all the ways the universe can bring it to you. All the ways. And I've chose 20 as a particular number for a reason, because your brain will usually come up with somewhere about 2 to 5. Okay, I want $20,000. Well, that can come in clients. That can come in this one funnel. That might come in a speaking opportunity. I don't know, maybe I'll win it in a lottery. And then your brain starts to just dribble off. But the universe has infinite ways it can bring that to you. The universe knows everything you don't know, and definitely everything your brain has not been exposed to. It knows what's happening in the market. It knows what's going to happen next week and next month as far as energy is concerned. So when you send your energetic signal out there, this is a great time to show our mind a few things. And the reason I have us write down 20 is it causes our mind to expand itself, to start to see that there is more than what it thought was possible out there. But also it does that subconscious element. It shows your brain that these other ways are safe. It calms the nervous system. It takes it out of protection mode, control mode, and opens up the house to more infinite possibilities, which is the truth, reality, the way the universe can bring it to us. This is one of the reasons it's so important to let go of the how when we are manifesting, is because 8 out of 10 times, it's not going to come the way you want it. So if you're only focusing on the 1 to 2 that you can see that your brain is focusing on, you're literally going to miss the other ones that are right in front of you. And so as you'll see from this list I'm going to give you here, this is just a list I made one day. And because I was having this challenge, I was like, I've got a business. I would like $20,000. Where is it going to come from? I felt I had to have the answer. As business owners, we feel like we have to have a plan, right? There has to be a business plan before you can even start your business. Everything has to have a model, a formula, the funnel. Does it? Does it? Or is that just one route that we can do? So after your brain stops, so after you're doing this 20 ideas, after your brain stops around that 3 to 5 ideas step, rest and let your subconscious start to calm. And then show that it's safe in all these other ways for the money to arrive. And I want you to start creating your own list as you do this, because I did this the other day. I like to review my goals before I go to bed every night so they can settle into my subconscious. I like to feel into that, so I have beautiful dreams and thoughts in my sleep. And one of mine is that I wake up to something in the morning. And I was like, well, that can't happen today, because I don't have the 20 ways set up yet. There's not enough ways for that to happen. And I go, none of that thinking. That's doubt. That's uncertainty. That's blocks. This is the universe we're talking about. The thing that made everything. The thing that makes all things possible. The thing that made the dinosaurs walk. That the earth is like here. The universe, literally the universe. Beyond the heavens and the spaces. That thing can do all of that. But I'm limiting myself to what's available on my website right now. So I go, okay, Acacia, list 20 ways that you can wake up to this. And I did. And I kept going. And I go, oh my God, there's 20 ways that it could logically happen for me tonight. Logically happen, let alone all the ways the universe could. So as I did this exercise, it calmed my brain, it calmed my mind, and I was able to go to sleep to something amazing, right? So, and FYI, this is an exercise that I have in my free manifesting guide. So if any of you want those, I've got a guide for entrepreneurs manifesting, because manifesting for us is different. We use our energy differently. We create differently. So there's a different way. So I've got a manifesting guide, and I've got some of these exercises in there. This exercise is in there. So what are 20 ways the universe can send you $20,000 now? 1, a new high-paying client. You might get one single client willing to come give you $20,000, $25,000. You might get 2 or 3 of them that are worth $10,000 or $15,000 each. You ever have clients just come out of the sky or just into your inbox? Like, wait, what? I've had it where clients in the past have been like, hey, So-and-so just asked me this question. Can you handle this? Sure can. Love to. Thanks. What perfect timing. Or I've had former clients come in and be like, hey, I have this issue now. And I was like, I just talked to you last week. You said nothing was going on. And now this. I love it. Of course, I'm there to say yes and be there for you. So that is number one. Number two, you might suddenly get a bulk order for your products or services. A bulk order. I had this happen to one of my neighbors. He had been working with a client for a long time, and he just kind of does, an order of 100 things for them about every quarter. That's it. Well, then one day they go, well, we just bought another distribution line, so we need to 10 times that. Can you do that for us? Out of nowhere, he just got an order to 10 times it for his existing business that was already there. He doesn't know when his clients are going off and merging and acquiring other things. So he, out of nowhere, had a bulk order for his products or services that actually continued on a quarterly basis. So over the next 3 years, his business literally 10 times for doing nothing. Incredible, right? Referral program. Now, you can get referrals from your satisfied customers or even people who know you but aren't a customer. Ask for referrals or feel into that. Is that something that you feel called by the universe to do? Is go get some referrals. And maybe you can turn some of those into long-term contracts. Another way that a lot of business owners don't always remember, unless this is your business model, is the idea of grants or funding. Grants or funding. I ended up having this happen to me. I was at a business event, just kind of networking, and I was talking to the local small business development center, just chatting with them. And they go, you know what? We just got a grant that we need to hire somebody to do these things. You want it? Sure. Yeah. What do you need? I'm all about this. And it was absolutely perfect. They had a grant they had to spend. Other times you can apply for grants because, especially as political and economic needs change both locally, but also in different industries. Sometimes I've seen banks do things where they're like, hey, we're required to now spend $1 million in funding into this local community. We have to find people to do this, right? So go find it. You'd be surprised what wasn't there yesterday might be there today. Speaking opportunities. Speaking opportunities. And speaking opportunities aren't just a TED Talk. They could be an inspirational personal story. They could be training for local businesses or training for whomever the types of companies you support. You might even get to go train some of your competitors. They may enjoy your expertise and how it aligns to theirs, and you can go train them on things and get paid for that training. Collaboration deals. This is great. Can you collaborate with other businesses? This is really good if you have a vertical where like marriage, weddings is a great one. Maybe you're a florist. Okay, go partner with the local venues. And then maybe partner with the people who do the calligraphy for the invitations. Where else in your vertical can you cooperate and build better business relationships? Because not only do these relationships lead to better money, because it's just cross and sharing your branding, you can cross and share your client base, but they're also the type of business relationships that often down the road lead to mergers and acquisitions or bigger, better business situations, IPOs and things like that. It usually comes out of some type of collaboration that happened at one point. Licensing or royalties. Can you license your intellectual property or add some type of consistent revenue? One of my clients, she does design work. And we had this as like one of her sparks of genius because she loves to give, she has videos of online training, how to do these things, and she gives them to her clients at the end of her programs. And it was like, well, why don't you license those? Like your clients don't need those in perpetuity. They're not paying for that in perpetuity. What if they get it free for 6 months after they've worked with you? But then if they want ongoing, they have a license to continue that. Or maybe some potential clients for yours already have what you offer, but they don't know how to maintain it themselves. They may want to license these videos you already have available, and you're narrowing who they could go to, only their private clients. Are there other ways to take this and license intellectual property you already have? sell digital products. Now, this is a big one in this market, so it may not be a aha moment, but go back and look at the list of things that are selling because that always changes and updates. Ebooks, courses, templates, something with AI. AI is out now. Can you update something that you've had and shift it to become AI friendly in some way? That's going to be a huge market for it. So look at what the market's looking at now, because that's one thing about being an entrepreneur is we care about what is the market buying now. Right. Number 9, we're not even halfway through our list. Can you believe this? I hope this is sparking some ideas for all of you. We're only at number 9 right now. That 20 different ways. Remember, this whole thing started at 20 ways the universe could bring you $20,000 because what you were trying to manifest was $20,000. You see how making this list and busting it open to 20 different ways, these are all logical things your brain could have come up with, but probably didn't out of habit, out of those pathways that it has built in. And now we get to expand them. And like I said, this is one of the exercises I have in my free manifesting guide. So if you're an entrepreneur looking for more ways to enhance your manifesting practice, go ahead and grab that guide. So this next one is affiliate programs. Are there services you use or that you sometimes end up recommending to your clients? Even though it's not something you'd ever create or offer per se, it doesn't mean it doesn't relate to what you do. A great one would be maybe you do logo design. Well, an affiliate might be a website or a hosting service. I know one with me is that I always have available for my clients when you're a worksheet, a checklist when you're setting up your website. You need to make sure you're legally compliant in a lot of ways now. A lot of ways. Like the FCC, the SEC, they are all involved now. And you got to make sure those are all there. But some of them require a technology update that as a lawyer, as a business coach, as a manifesting leader, I understand them, but I'm not inspired to build those back-end technologies. But that doesn't mean I don't know some of the best ones in the market to use. Like I don't know the ones that are helping my clients or that they love. I can recommend those and perhaps get an affiliate program, add it as an affiliate link. These other ways that we can build a different type of revenue structures is affiliate programs. Partner with a similar size company that sells to the same customers. We leaned on this a little bit earlier when we were talking about collaborations, but now we're looking at literally who sells to your customers. Who sells to your customers, even if it's something totally different. Totally different. It doesn't even have to do with your business. It doesn't mean you guys can't work together and cross-sell into each other's customer bases. I supported a Fortune 500 client that did this. They would offer data offerings, and they're like, okay, our data is now going to be great in this market, but we don't know anybody in that market. What can we do? Well, it turns out they actually had a friend who knew somebody in that market. And so they just set up a partnership deal, a resale deal, where now their friend's company got to sell into their existing clients this other offer. And ended up doing really, really well to where they end up having the number one company in that market come to them at month 10. Really, really incredible, just from that sort of leaning into a market that you hadn't been in before. So number 11, unexpected contract renewals. Unexpected contract renewal. A past client might return. You might be able to extend an ongoing contract. Do something like that in a way that maybe is the same offering, maybe it's a little bit different. What's the next level for your clients? I taught this at a sales meeting for a Fortune 500 once, and they sold into attorneys. And so they had this product and they would be like, okay, that covered almost every area of law, from wills and trusts to family law, intellectual property law, business law, and the list goes on. And what their sales reps were doing is they go into every law firm and be like, look, you can do all these things. And I was like, guys, when a lawyer has picked what subject matter they like, if they're doing intellectual property law, they're not going to suddenly want to go do wills and trusts. They're not going to suddenly want to do family law. They've chosen the area they love. So what do? You see what the next step is for their existing clients. And so the example I gave is, let's say you're talking to a patent law company And this law firm writes patents. Cool. Okay. You don't have to know anything about patent law, but a patent is a type of intellectual property. What are they doing with their clients? They probably send their clients off to a business attorney now. Well, what if they could help the client with the next step? What happens after they create that patent for their client? Well, their client probably wants to create a business or license that patent. They probably want to make revenue now, right? So why don't you offer to that patent firm helping their clients who's already in front of them now get a license deal or the license agreement template or the LLC? Little baby steps. What is literally the next thing for your client when they are done working with you? What can you do to support that and bring that as part of your revenue? 12, pay ahead models. Pay ahead models. Can you get clients to prepay for anything? Can you get clients to prepay for anything that you hadn't thought of before? Discount bundle offers. Create irresistible bundles to clear out old stock and boost sales. Or the things you can now bundle together. Maybe your clients are doing this and this, but not that, but you know they're going to be better off. Why don't you bundle it and give them discounts? Create different type of collaborative bundles within your own offerings. Partner with a large brand. Big companies. I recently had a talent agency leave me a voicemail because they had become familiar with my business and they thought that this big celebrity might be interested in working with me. Imagine that. Out of nowhere, I come back from vacation, I got a voicemail, big celebrity name is interested in working with companies like yours. And this was legit. And I ended up talking to the assistant and then ended up talking to the agent and so on. I could have had a big collaboration on this level. And so while I wasn't ready to say yes to this particular celebrity, I was willing to say yes to talking to that agency and that agent because I'm like, there might be something down the road where this does make sense. Let's keep in touch on this, right? The universe brought me that out of nowhere. Literally, I came back from vacation and had that voicemail. I was like, oh, hello. And it was real. It was legitimately real. And so now I have a partnership with a big celebrity if I want to. When I want to, I already have the I already have the pricing structure. I already have all the details. I'm ready to say yes whenever I'm ready to say yes. Thank you, universe. So who else is a big brand name? Who else is a big name that you maybe can get out there and go to the next level? Business competitions. Number 15. We're still going to 20 here, guys. This is a 20 list and we're on 15. Business competitions. Enter local or national business competition. There are competitions for so many different things out there. So many different types of competitions that just get your name out there. I love speaking and I love emceeing. So I do a lot of things in that area. And my CEO legal coach brand comes along with me. So it's not literal to what I do, but it's part of who I am. And so when people connect with me, they can connect with everything that I've created and everything I share. And that includes my brands like CEO Legal Coach. Media features. Get published in a magazine or feature in a podcast, right? I've had some of these just land in my inbox. I've had some of these where I reach out. I have had some where I just end up connecting with somebody on LinkedIn and it turns out they are the main person for a particular big name editor at a big publishing house, right? So what are different ways that you could be out there? Blogging, guesting, podcasting. What can you do? How can you feel into that? Are you feeling called to use it as part of your inspiration here? Because if you are feel into that, ask the universe to bring that to you however it wants to bring it to you. I can tell you I've had some weird ones just come out of nowhere. A silent investor. Attract an angel investor interested in supporting your vision. When we get to certain points in our life and in our businesses, we start to turn to the idea of legacy. What is it that I'm going to leave behind? And people start to donate money, create causes or support causes and create the ventures that go into this. Can you be part of any of that? As the legacy person or as the recipient of somebody else's legacy gifts, or just even getting an investor. Like I said, sometimes I've seen banks in my area because I work with the small business development centers and SBA. Well, they'll be like, the banks have to give out $5 million in the next quarter. And we have only given away $1 million. Acacia, do you know anybody who could take this other $4 million? Literally have had that happen. So just because you had a no yesterday does not mean it's a no today. Don't let it stop you. Number 19, asset sales. Can you sell something? Physical, inventory, old equipment, digital assets. Are you done with some intellectual property? Okay, sell it. What else can you get rid of? I knew somebody who ended up getting random money from selling the car that was sitting in their yard. She was like, I never had thought of that. I never had thought about selling the car that's in the yard, you know? And here she's like, let's just go put a for sale sign on it. And before she even could do that, somebody came to her door. Hey, are you selling that car out there? The universe brought it in a totally different way. All right. And so don't forget, we are going to do live Q&A here in a second. So if you have any questions about any of this, any manifesting, any bringing $20,000 into your business, any of this list, this exercise, please go ahead and put them in there because I'm going to get to those questions momentarily. So what is number 20 on our list? What is the 20 ways the universe could send you that $20,000? A way only the universe can. Pure magic. Pure magic. I have had $20,000 just randomly show up in my inbox. I have had money randomly show up in investment accounts. I've had it show up in my mailbox. Did you know that there was this lawsuit and here's your payment for it? Did you know that you were overcharged for this? Here's your refund check. I've had it come out of literal nowhere. Slot machine winnings, gifts from family, lotteries. We listed 20 today. 20 is not everything. It's not everything. The universe can bring things to you in infinite ways, and that is the power of manifesting and letting go of the how. Let go of the how. Use this exercise to expand your horizons over and over again. Like I said, in the manifesting guide I've got on the screen, absolutely free, it walks you through how manifesting is different for entrepreneurs. And it's got a few other exercises. This one is in there, but a few others just to help you expand and open up to magic. To magic. Because our brains try to narrow it, plan it out. Business plans, it's got to be in the funnel. It's got to be the algorithm. Screw that. Screw it. It does not. It does not. Because I can tell you, most of the magical ways that ever happened for me was never in any of the things I planned. It was never them. It usually comes out of just pure magic with connecting with other people. So let's get on to these questions. Let me open my chat box. What do we have here? Yes, it's real. This is real. This is real. I see that. Yes, this is real. This absolutely is real. I'm real. The universe is real. You're real. Your callings, why you made your business, what you're driven to create. Those are all real. You feel them. It's a real sensation. You know it's possible because you've already started. You've created your business. You've created your products and your offerings, and you've connected with people. You exist. Therefore, all of it exists too. Question number 1, what if I don't care how it comes, but I still can't stop thinking about trying to figure it out? Okay. This is your brain overthinking. Your brain overthinking. Remember, your brain is helpful. It keeps us safe. It does good things for us. It's not like I don't want my brain. I love my brain. I've learned so much from having my brain, went to law school, business school, and so on. But what has happened in my past, what I have been exposed to is not everything. It's not everything that's happening in the world. It's not everything that Warren Buffett's done or Amanda Francis has done or every entrepreneur out there. I don't know all the different ways they've done stuff. And I don't know what the universe has on the horizon. So if you truly don't care how it comes, calm your brain to not care how it comes either. Feel into what you're calling in and let that be your source of inspiration. Use this 20 ways exercise to show your brain there's infinite possibilities, and use that to calm and settle the mind so that it can get out of its own way, get out of your way, because mental blocks, there's 3 types of blocks. Mental blocks are one of the biggest limiting ones out there, but they're also the easiest to remove and shift. Yeah, great question. How often should I do the 20 pathways exercise? However, it's useful to you. You can use it whenever you feel that you're trying to figure out the how and you're overthinking. Like I said, when I went to bed the other night, I know that I want to wake up to something, but I was like, the business isn't ready yet. There's no way that can happen yet. And I go, that's a block. That's a block. Give me 20 ways right now that can happen. And I sat there and I go, oh my gosh, there are more than 20 ways. I was telling myself it couldn't happen yet. And here there were 20 ways that I can literally think of in my own business this can happen. Okay, I look forward to waking up in the morning. So whenever you feel that you're trying to overthink, you're trying to plan, you're trying to be rigid, you're trying to look at what's happened in the past for you or in the past for other entrepreneurs, what are other people doing? Fuck it. It doesn't matter. The universe is not reliant on what's happened in the past. The universe is not reliant on whether somebody else has succeeded at this. The universe is not looking to repeat your life. You don't really want to repeat your life, do you? You want the next level. Let the next level be the next level. So anytime you're doubting that, overthinking it or something, the 20 ways exercise is a great way to all of it. What if I can only think of 10 ways? Okay, if you can't get through all of it, bring it in pieces. Bring it in pieces. Calm, because one thing that sometimes can happen is you don't want to overthink the 20 either. The point of the exercise is to calm your brain and to think back to every way you've ever gotten money in your life. Ever gotten any money in your life, not just your business, but your life. Gifts, maybe you won something, maybe you had an interesting networking thing. This happened with one of my things. I wasn't manifesting money, but I was trying to manifest some more speaking gigs. And I'm sitting there like, okay, the plan, let's update the website, let's get a new speaker reel, let's do these things. And my mind just goes, Acacia, you're trying to control the process. What do you feel inspired to do? I'm like, honestly, I feel inspired to focus on my trainings. Okay. You've felt into what you're manifesting. You've asked what you're manifesting. Yes. You've done all of that work. Yes. But yet you are inspired to go work on your trainings. Yeah. Okay. Then go focus on your trainings. And this is counterintuitive, right? Counterproductive. Why would I go work on my trainings if what I want is speaking gigs? And so I went and I worked on the trainings, and I had a meeting that week, which is one of my normal partnerships. And because I was working on my trainings, we were talking. We love to talk. We're actually great friends. And I just started talking about the things I was up to lately. And she stops me and she goes, have you ever thought about being an inspirational speaker? Yeah, why? I know a few people who are looking. What? I was focusing on trainings. I work with her for business trainings on to business owners in the area. We don't talk about speaking gigs. But because I had listened to what my intuitive nudge was to not focus on the speaking gigs. If I had been focusing on the website and the reel and all of those things, sure, they would eventually get me more speaking gigs. But the universe knew if I was in a different mindset, if I was in the yes, yes, yes about training mindset, I was going to have a different story at this meeting. I was going to have a different conversation. I was going to pick different words. And that led to speaking gigs. So if you can only think of 10 ways, don't hold your mind to this, right? Let it go for a second and just see what inspiration comes up from within. Because that is where your universe calling is. That's where what you wanted to manifest came from anyways. So let that continue to be the source of your inspiration. Follow it and trust it. Do I need to take action on all 20 things? No. This exercise is to get your brain to let go of the blocks, of the mental blocks, and to feel safe in letting something else that it can't think of happen. So it's got those dual things. It's opening yourself up to more creative ideas. Like we just talked about, when it comes from what are you actually inspired to do? That's what we're asking the universe for. If you're always focusing on your funnels and clients, and that's not where the money's coming, maybe we need to stop focusing on those areas. And this exercise gives you, it allows your imagination and your creativity, your energetic flow, fill the blanks of the other 15 spots on this list. And so from there, where do you take action? The one that feels the most inspired. The one that feels the most inspired. Like I said, when I was trying to do some speaking gigs, I could think of the things to do. I could think and set out the plan, but my inspiration was telling me to do something else. And that ended up being the more effective, faster, quicker result. That my brain couldn't see it. My brain had no idea that person worked with inspirational speakers. Had no idea. But here it was, my answer in 3 days. Pretty amazing. So only take action on the ones you are inspired to. The purpose of the exercise is to open up this creative flow, open yourself up to other ways and see what inspires you. What if I don't believe it's possible? If you don't believe it's possible, it's never going to happen for you. But I also want to take a second and ask, then why are you trying to manifest it? Why were you called to manifest this in your business? If you're not called to manifest it, if you're called to manifest it, part of you believes in it. Otherwise, where did that inspiration come from? A part of you believes. The rest of you that doesn't believe is probably your doubts, your mind, your emotions, aka blocks. Blocks. Anything is possible, especially if you can think it, because where did your thought even come from? Where did the idea come from? Why is it that you're after $20,000 right now? That's an arbitrary number, by the way. You're the only one who got that signal from the universe, because the universe is calling to do something through you. You're the one who's set up for success at it. You're the only one who doubts that. The universe gave you the message because the universe wants it through you, which means it's possible through you. And a part of you believes, otherwise you wouldn't have said, that's what I want to manifest. So work on removing those blocks. Anything between you and that success and that big yes is a block. Work to remove them. And you'll be surprised how fast it happens, because the universe wants it for you. That's why you're the one who got that idea. All right, I think I've got one question left. There it is. What if my business needs money urgently? Will this still work? I've had money show up in 24 hours. And I didn't even have to take an action. Again, the urgency is a block. That I am desperate, I need. These are blocks. These are energetic signals saying there's not enough out there. There's no way for me to say yes right now. There's a way for you to say yes. There's always a way for you to say yes. It's you who's doubting it. It's you who's saying it's not possible for me right now. Because I can tell you it's happened to me more than once. I manifested $24,000, just under $25,000, I think, I don't even sure it took 36 hours. Yeah, and I've had other $10,000 days just because I felt into it. And so on. So it's possible for you. There's no timeline. You're the one who says a timeline. The universe doesn't care if it takes you a year or if it takes you a day. To the universe, time doesn't exist. You're the one who's saying time exists. Has anybody else ever done it? Has anybody else ever gotten this money in a day? Has anybody else ever achieved this in a day? Because if they can, why can't you? That proves it's already possible. The universe did it for somebody else, and they probably have done it for more than one entrepreneur and business owner. We all can probably list a number of stories that we've heard where somebody saved the day last minute in their business. Why can't you? The only person who doubts that is you. So these are all blocks of lack, not enough, I don't believe in myself, and so on. Fuck that. All things are possible right here, right now. You're possible because you already exist. You have this drive, this goal, this idea because you were meant to have it, which means it's yours. As soon as you remove those blocks, you can have it same day if you wanted to. Absolutely. All right, all. This has been Acacia, the CEO Legal Coach. We go live 3 times a week. I will see you all tomorrow, 10 a.m. Pacific time.